Hey guys, I thought I'd show you my setup for moving my fancy goldfish indoors for the winter. As you can see out my window, we live in Minnesota. We can often get to 20 below zero. So keeping a fancy goldfish like my black moors, orandas, or this fantail outdoors is not an option. They're coming in from a 1,200 gallon upcycled hot tub, which I'll post a video of that because I just created it last year for my COVID therapy. So bringing them in from this big pond, I kind of wanted a similar habitat. I found this livestock tank, 40 gallon, and I found a tank that didn't have any valve or any kind of fittings in it. So I'm going to show you quickly my setup. So here's 40 gallons. I do have a heater in there. I'm keeping it at around 73. Believe it or not, we just had the little parasite disease, which any aquarium can get at any time. So I did buy a heater, and I jacked up the heat to 78 for 4 days and treated them once every 24 hours for 4 days. Then did a 30% water change. It's actually one of my moors showed up with it. But yeah, they're totally fine. So here's my setup. I have 2 sponge filters. This is a heater. If you can maintain your lowest temp at around 64, I think you're okay. I do have a pump. This is all for my interior stuff. The other important thing for goldfish is aquarium salt. I love this food. I order it from the pond guys. It really gives them a healthy color. It's a good balance, helps their tract. The other important thing for you is to get a fresh water test kit. In Minneapolis, the most important thing to check for in Minneapolis is nitrite and ammonia. That's 8 drops each per vial. And then I test pH, nitrate, and ammonia really once a week. The other additives must have is going to be a good chlorine neutralizer, some stress coat to keep their nice slime coat healthy on for their fins. I do some Start Smart Complete when I started the aquarium, and I do a little bit of addition of that. The other one I love is Pond Perfect, which is a biological pond treatment. And I'm not going to tell you how much I put, maybe a capful once a week. I shouldn't say what my measurements are, but I really want you to pay attention, read, and research what your measurements are for your aquarium. The other thing that was kind of fun, it looks like a joke, but it kind of works because it's hard to see my fish from the top. So I just bought a little side aquarium so I can check people out if somebody's maybe got something going on. Anyway, so here's the setup. There's a sponge filter here. Looks like this. You do clean it. Sorry, my nails are just a wreck. You do about every 2 or 3 weeks, you take this out and you use a bucket of your aquarium water, your tank water, and you gently squeeze, empty, squeeze gently. I think I'm squeezing with too much zest. So I have 2 of those because I found this one wasn't enough to keep the water quality the way I wanted it. I have a couple plants. I do keep a aquarium light, which I move around the tank to sort of mimic some natural light. I move it around the outside. I turn it down at night, and I take it way off the tank. So I like to give them as much natural zone. I know most tanks, people say don't put in sunlight. I don't mind a little algae on my sides because it is a livestock tank, and I do have a mystery snail. The bottom of my aquarium, that little gravel, is actually crushed coral for pH. And well, my pet store wanted to sell me not this much. I went back and got more because it really does keep my pH wonderful. The other little trick I found, I don't know if you're interested, if you have an aggressive fish at feeding time and he's bigger and your other guys aren't getting anything, look at, this is a plant basket I got for my, Moby will swim right in it. I got this plant basket for my outdoor pond, and I was about to rehome Moby because he's so aggressive just at feeding. They just ate peas. And I do have a baby in here, a baby Aranda. She's got a little V pattern on her back. I liked her because of that V, even though her wen, or that tissue on her head, is exactly the way it should be. She just had a little extra coloring. So I put Moby in here and he eats just fine. Everybody else can get their food. And then Mobs just comes on out and off we go. So I use this bucket to, I can hand bucket things out and run them to my upstairs bathroom. I'm in my, once was my daughter's bedroom. There it is, which is now my guest room. And then I have a special surprise at the end to show you guys what I really share this studio with. So I don't know if you've all seen these sieve pumps, which I'm pretty religious about vacuuming out the bottom of the tank every 2 days into a side bucket, and then I dump it in the toilet and down it goes, because that ammonia or that buildup from their waste, especially with goldfish, is really something you got to stay after. I do have, from my outdoor pond, I'm using an extra aeration stone. I think that these two pumps I have may give enough oxygen, but goldfish, they care about two things the most: water quality, well, three: water quality, air, and food. So I kind of keep those three things close to heart for these guys. I absolutely love them. We have John Lewis, we have Elijah, Moby, that's David Bowie, Mrs. David Bowie, the Miranda, and then Victor Victoria down there. So here's what we share the space with. I've been doing a series of paintings based on my outdoors pond, which I was a water gardener with lily pads. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was just spectacular. Again, living in the north, this is what it looks like. Duluth Harbor, more lilies. So anyways, that's the tour, and I think you can see my setup. You know, some pumps, a heater, some baskets, and I gotta tell you, I rescue cats, and nobody has even shown any interest in these guys. They don't even come and look. So anyways, happily swimming, to be updated. It did take me about a month to get my water parameters right, so start early. You know, start a month before you're gonna move them inside, and bring as much water from your pond as you can to start. Get those pumps going and let it cycle, and test your parameters. And goldfish are pretty hardy. They're not going to be too picky, but why not make things easiest for them? Okay, well, I am going to post some summer shots or a quick summer video that I have just like hanging around on my channel. Take care. Happy tanking. Happy New Year. Better 2021 to all of you. Ciao.